back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Wet n Wild x PAC-MAN collection. So I actually stumbled across this on accident, which, oh my gosh, that's how all my money, that's where the check goes every time it's an accident. I was walking in Walgreens yesterday and I was like, looking for something new because I know I always miss things, even though I'm following Trend Mood online and then I follow like so many different makeup brands online, things still slip through the cracks. And I was like, what? That's Wet n Wild? I'm like, is this old? Because half the collection on the first Walgreens, more than half of the collection was gone. All they had was nail polish, 2 lipsticks, and 1 eyeshadow palette. So I was like, is this super old? Or is this really new and it's already gone? So had jumped online, saw the entire collection, and I'm like, oh my gosh. First of all, I need the brushes. Need the brushes. Number one, I really like Wet n Wild's limited edition brushes, and I was introduced to the Fire Dragon, Ice Dragon, I forgot the exact name for this collection, but the Fire and Ice collection that they did, these were my first like limited edition Wet n Wild brushes, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so soft. I love it. Good quality too, especially for the price. I got these when they were in Walmart. Start off with one of my faves. I really do like this eyeshadow palette. The quality is really great. I will say I do not have that much experience using drugstore eyeshadow palettes, so I'm not really the one to be like, oh, compared to this, compared to something that they put out in the past. I like higher end eyeshadow palettes. I usually use mainly MAC and Urban Decay. I have quite a few of the Naked palettes, but that's about it. I have other stuff here and there, but those are like, that's what I usually use. So to see this quality, I was like, okay. And I didn't use any like other shades, like I didn't have to use another eyeshadow palette. I did use MAC's chromographic liner in orange and their yellow to do obviously my under eye liner, and then MAC black liner on top. So the eyeliners are MAC, but the actual eyeshadow, the highlighter, the everything else is just this palette. From the older products, because I did use a few older products. Actually, we're going to talk about the PAC-MAN first. We're going to talk about all PAC-MAN. So the eyeshadow palette I really love. Today's look included the deep blue, the purple. Okay, so there's a lot of fallout. I'm not that mad at fallout. It's just like, don't be wearing the outfit that you're going to wear out if you're going to do your makeup first, because it's probably gonna fall out. If you do your base, your complexion first like I did, definitely bake. I used a loose powder to just set that there, so if anything falls down, you could just sweep it away and it goes away. But for the palette, I was working, I was going like blowing the product off because it was starting to mix. Like in the orange, you can barely see. In the orange is some of the deep blue. In the shimmer light is some of the blue. In my orange up top, my shimmer orange, I have some of the purple, so it does kind of fall over. This palette, I want to say, was $10. Not gonna be mad at a drugstore $10 palette like this, so I really liked it. I used the shimmer, the glitter silver, the shimmer orange, the purple, the like mint color, and then the deep blue. That was all I used for this eye look today. Next, I faintly used this before I started because I had already put my lip conditioner on, but it's a lip scrub. It's made of sugar, so I know it's gonna work. The fact that it looks like a little apple, and oh my gosh, it smells so good. It literally smells like sour apple Jolly Rancher. I feel like it's a lot of product for the price, because my lip scrubs, I only have Lush Cosmetics lip scrubs, and that was, I want to say $10, like $9.99. You obviously, you do get a bigger jar. You know for sure it's handmade because they have like the people who make it put their name on it. Lip scrubs are lip scrubs to me, honestly. It's just about the like the smell and kind of the taste too. Lush, amazing lip scrubs. MAC Cosmetics, I get the orange one. Candy Nectar, amazing lip scrubs. This one, it just smells so good. I just kind of want to eat it, but I have to tell myself, don't just eat it. It tastes great as well. So we're going to use this again on another day. I'm going to have a skincare routine, like what I've been doing lately, come out soon. So be sure to look for a lip scrub. I forgot to talk about this brush with eyes. So I only use this brush. This is the Wagga 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 eyeshadow brush. And they had a big one for like blush or powder, like just a huge fluffy brush. I could not find it, y'all. I went to 3 different Walgreens. Now, mind you, I found this collection yesterday and I was zooming around town like, oh my gosh, I gotta hit this Walgreens, hit this Walgreens. And none of them had the big brush, so I don't know if I'm out of luck. I have 4 more Walgreens in my city, and I am going today either before work or after work. I'm gonna find that brush. I have to have that brush. It's so nice. And you know, Pac-Man came out before the 90s, if I'm correct. I think Pac-Man came out before the 90s, so it's like an 80s theme, and this reminds me of a lava lamp. It's so much glitter, few and far between. There are some Pac-Man cutouts. I wish they were all Pac-Man cutouts, honestly, but it's still very cute. This brush, I want to say, was $6.99, $7.99, like around there. It is pretty wide. When I saw the few reviews on it, I thought it was like a flat, like a MAC. Let me compare it. Like a MAC 239, like how flat that brush is. I thought that this was that, but look, this brush is thick. I still like it though. The brushes that are this big, I would usually use for one shadow to sweep across, and then that's it. Not really to get detailed like this cut crease that I did. That's why I had to switch up the brush. I used it to apply first, and then I switched over to another brush because it just, to me, it wasn't working. It wasn't getting as crisp and as clean because it wasn't as flat. But I use these type of brushes for contouring on the nose and baking on the nose. So I'll go in, if I want like a more natural nose contour, I'll put my contour down first, then dust it off and put some soft bake next to it, and that kind of dissolves the edges but still enhances where the contour is. If I want a very striking contour, I'll do the reverse. I'll put the baking right there, kind of still outlining it, but when you go in with that harsh brown, all you see is that brown. So depending on what you want to do, it does kind of matter the order that you're going into. But I like this brush for my nose contour. My nose is like, I guess like an average size nose, especially for my face, but I would still use this more for contouring next time versus an eyeshadow. But I wanted to try it out, and it did do the job. Side note, I have a septum piercing, and kid you not, every video somebody tells me, you have a booger in your nose, blah blah blah. Y'all, I have a septum piercing, so you're gonna sometimes see my piercing, and I will admit, when I'm powdering my face, sometimes powder gets on it, so it does look a little funny. But side note, the last product that I have that I use today, because like I told you, I'm gonna get that fluffy brush, but the last product that I have today is a bronzer. Let me tell you what it is actually called. It's called Power Pellets Bronzer. When I was just looking at it through the side, like in the store, it was it still is very shimmery, but I was like, oh, this will be a highlighter on me, because almost all bronzers nowadays that say bronzer and they have shimmer are not gonna bronze me at all. Shout out to Fenty Beauty and Hula for actually stepping the game up. Shout out to Fenty Beauty first. This is my Mocha Mommy bronzer, and this one gives me the perfect amount of warmth. It's very soft. You can use it as a blush, but this is definitely a bronzer. And then Hula bronzer just released new shades, and this is in the shade Toasted. So this one I actually like to use as my contour, because to me this one's a little bit more cool tone, even though I can still use it as a bronzer. I use this one as contour. So shout out to y'all for coming out for the deeper skin tones, the darker skin tones, and the deep dark skin tones. Big ups. Now back to this collection. So this is titled Bronzer. I assumed that it was going to be a highlighter on me. As you guys saw, I used it at first, and I put a highlighter on top, so this is not the image, but I used it at first, and it was just like, it gave a subtle sheen, which I still like. I like that for my no makeup days, because this makes the skin look smooth. In MAC foundations, I wear NC50, sometimes I wear NC58, just like depending on Studio Fix Fluid, that's the formula. And then I'll use the NW45 powder because it has a nice warmth to it, but it's not too orangey. That's my combination. That's kind of like my skin tone. So when I put this on, I was like, ooh, yes, this looks like my skin. You know, this is very sneaky. But I didn't find as much color pay off with the pellets as their own. So I just went ahead and crushed a couple of them. I think I crushed like 2 or 3. And now it's a loose powder, and I like it. I don't have to keep dipping back and forth, taking my time. I can just dip in and just buff away. One trick that I have been using lately with my skin tone highlighters is taking it and putting it almost all over the face. Sometimes I will do it all over the face, but I've put it down on my cheeks as a base, all over my forehead and my cheeks again. That makes my skin just look so smooth. It doesn't even look like a highlighter. And I started to do that because when I go in with my MAC 240S brush, one of my favorite highlighting brush. Honestly, this is my favorite highlighting brush at the moment. When I go in with this and like do a forehead highlight, before when I just put that highlighter there, it looked like I put highlighter right there or somebody knocked me right there and it's just poking out. With this trick, I'll take my highlighter, put it all over so everything has a glow. Then I go in with this in specific areas. So now it actually looks like my skin is highlighted a little bit more and it kind of shapes my forehead. It shapes the cheek a little bit better, especially with different color highlighters. You don't want it to just be straight. Well, makeup is art, there's no right or wrong. Most of the time you do not want it to just be sitting there. You want it to look seamless. You want to put it there, but you don't want it to just sit there. So I put the one that's skin tone down, and then I can put whatever on top, and it makes it look a lot smoother. This is the packaging just to show you. It has the little game in the back. Very cute on the brushes. Everything pretty much came like this. I really like the packaging. I like the actual packaging of the products as well. Now, some older products that I use that were still Wet n Wild, like I said, the two brushes, my skin tone, like I put this one on my forehead just to give a little bit of a golden glow. This one isn't true to skin tone. It is a little bit more golden than I am. This is in the shade Awesome Blossom. It says new on there, so not limited edition. For my nose highlight, which is very purple, and I did it as a base of my brow. This is a limited edition shade, but I've still seen this on their website and other places. You can still get this. This is in this shade Lilac to Reality. Love. This is truly one of my favorite purple highlighters. Like, of all the highlighters, I did a purple highlighter video, like review. This is number one. It's so bad that I literally drove out of town to get another one, and I ordered online for another one because the one that I drove out of town for, I did a review and I freaking dropped it and it shattered. So I had to order it very fast. So anyways, I have a backup of this. I love this highlighter. And then for my cheeks, because I'm like, you know, I need a little bit of color. I didn't want to just do a gold because it's very cool tone on the eye. I need like, you know, that fun color. I went in with Winter Falls in LA. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure if this is the same Fire and Ice. It kind of looks like it was the Ice and Fire one. This one is in Winter Falls. So this is what I have on my cheeks. So I put it down and it was a little striking, I'm not gonna lie. But I went back over it with Awesome Blossom just to add a little bit of that gold tone to kind of help it blend. Now, one thing that is a necessity when you do your eyeshadows, to me at least, you have to spray it with Fix Plus. Without spraying it with Fix Plus, I did feel like it was a little powdery. Like, they still work. They truly did work. And for the price, I'm not knocking it at all. But it was a little powdery. It did fall out, which not bad. Like I said, it took a little bit more. Use light pressure. I kept packing to get the color payoff, which I'm a makeup artist. I love this. This is honestly fun to me. But for people who are in a rush, don't try to, you know, use too many colors. You can truly get away with like very few colors and get the job done. You absolutely need Fix Plus. Fix Plus has glycerin in it, which makes the skin look smoother. It gives you a little boost of hydration. It has cucumber extract. It's just all over miracle spray. And recently they have released limited edition scents. So I have the pineapple, which is so good, and the watermelon. So let me start with my favorite of these two, the pineapple. The pineapple smells so good. I absolutely love the drinks, the pina colada drinks. So I'm like, ooh, this smells so good. It smells so good. It reminds me of a pina colada. And the watermelon. It's very hard for me to say this smells like watermelon because to me, watermelon doesn't really have a smell. It more so has just the taste, but it does smell sweet. It smells like a a fake watermelon, like candy. It smells more like sweet candy to me than it does watermelon, because it's kind of hard for me to say this smells like, you know, watermelon, because bananas are hard to get a scent for me. Grapes are also hard, but they're amazing. You better grab two. They're half price. Original Fix Plus is $28. These are $14, so 2 for 1. They also have white tea and peony, and then of course the original, but give these a try. So that is the end of my Pac-Man review. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial and my opinions on the collection. Let me know down below if you also have got the collection, or if you're planning on getting the collection. What do you want to get from the collection? Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you will be notified ASAP of me uploading any content. Definitely check out the community tab, because I post on my wall. I'll post, you know, little paragraphs, but mainly I've been posting a lot of pictures, the same pictures that I've been posting on Instagram. So please make sure you follow me on Instagram right now. That is all that I have for you today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.